Hello guys, the last rumors on the Nintendo Switch 2 Electric Boogaloo situation suggest that there would be two models, one with retro-compatible capabilities and digital games only, and the other one with without backwards compatibility and digital games only, and the other with physical game compatibility and backwards compatibility with Nintendo Switch 1. The latter, he wrote later, but the latter one being more expensive. What is your opinion on this particular matter? I would see this a little out of line with how Nintendo has operated in the past, as gatekeeping such an important feature under a higher price model would be a first for them. Thanks for your work and have a nice day.
Would it, though?
And my feeling is that I don't think there's going to be two models.
Yeah, that seems nuts.
And if there are, it's not going to be split this way. I mean, I have no information here necessarily. I'm just saying I don't think that those reports, that does not seem like something that's going to happen to me.
The only analog I can think about is the 2DS. But
not
that really at all.
That came way later.
It's
right?
way late, and that was like a cost budget thing, and it had its use, I think, for people who wanted to play DS games.
Also for kids.
Even the Virtual Boy was standalone, so yeah.
Right. So yeah.
I don't know
about this.
The idea of splitting their market base like that, the closest analog I can think of is like the N64 expansion pack, but I'm not really sure that is comparable at all, really.
Yeah.
So I just don't think Nintendo would actually do something like this. It really feels not only would it be bad for the market, but it's also just confusing. Like the idea, especially with the audience that they're targeting with the Switch, the idea of like, somebody has a Switch 2 and grandma or somebody's going to buy them a gift, but what if they have the wrong type of Switch and they can't use that game? Or it just creates a lot of situations, I think, where they'll be confused as to what works on which model, why, all this stuff. And that's not something I think that they would want to answer in the marketing materials. It would just be...
Yes. Although one thing that is exciting now, and I'm really quite impressed that PlayStation did that with the new digital versus the new physical PlayStation 5, is that if you buy the new slim one or whatever it's going to be called, when you buy the digital one, you can take that little bit off and upgrade it to a disc PS5. I love that. Like, that makes me feel good as someone who, I mean, I love physical games personally, and I don't want that to disappear, and I hate everything just being logged in someone else's cloud. And I feel like it makes one feel very vulnerable about the games that one sort of owns in one's library, etc. And the fact that they give that option is great. So, I mean, perhaps a sort of slightly modular Switch could be cool, since already they've introduced the idea of like clicking different things into it and stuff like that from the side. Maybe you could click a sort of, click a physical drive into it if you want to have a digital version. But even that seems unlikely given Nintendo's
I don't think they'd go for that. That doesn't seem like a very Nintendo thing at all. So let's hope that's not a Nintendo thing, because that would be not good.
Mm-hmm.
But let's move on.
Yeah, and essentially, and also that drive is essentially just an SD card. I mean, it's like,
is it that expensive?
Yeah,
really?
Exactly.
It's very different from an optical disc drive, which is a larger, more expensive piece. I would say
the space for its moving parts. You know what I mean?
But the rumors are also saying that this one without the slot would also not support games in backwards compatible mode, and I just don't see why they would ever want to do that. Because if you're buying their hardware, I would assume that if they have backwards compatibility, they would want people with this new Switch to still be able to purchase any games they want that were also on Switch, right? Why would they stop them from doing that if the feature is supported in the first place? Does not make sense. I don't think they're going to do it.
No.